Om Purnamatav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrapashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyaptadehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. So we have seen that Yajnavalkya showed the means to immortality to his wife Maitreyi. When she said that what is the means of immortality, then he began with saying that he wanted to draw her attention, not her, but in general, draw her attention from everything else to the self. And that is why he said that Nava are patyuhu kamaya patihi priyo bhavati. Atmanastu kamaya patihi priyo bhavati. It is not for the, O Maitreyi, it is not for the sake of the husband that the husband is loved, but it is for the sake of the self that the husband is loved. It applies to everything. The wife is dear not for the sake of the wife, but it is for the sake of the self, which means self is dear to me, and that is why I love the husband or wife or son or wealth or anything for that matter. Even Ishvara, we love everything because we love the self. And we showed in the previous lecture that only and only when things are agreeable to me, favorable to me, wife or husband or sons or daughters or siblings or friends or anything for that matter, we love them as long as they are agreeable to us, favorable to us. And we love them because they help us in loving ourselves. We have difficulty in loving our own self because of ignorance, that knowledge of the self not being there. We cannot love, we cannot respect ourselves. And that is why through others, and especially with whom I am intimately connected, through them we love ourselves. The relationship will be harmonious as long as we help each other in loving each other. Because, as we said, I gave the example of the mirror. We like the mirror not for itself, but we like the mirror because it reflects me. Similarly, we like others, we love others because they reflect us. They reflect that love for myself. When you please me, when you are nice to me, then I find that acceptance which I wanted very much. And so you, by posing or rather being as agreeable, favorable, friendly, lovable, you help me in coming to myself. Understand? Ultimately, I love myself. But today, I love myself through you. In your eyes, I'm seeking that acceptance. In your eyes, in your behavior, I'm seeking that acceptance. And when you are like that, then things go very well. But when that stops, then gradually we try to keep away from them. We ignore them, try to keep a distance between them, between us. Why? Because in your presence, I cannot accept myself. You criticize me. You tell me all kinds of things which I cannot accept. So then the love affair stops there. Because you come in between my loving myself. Now rather than helping, you are harming me by being unfavorable, by going against me. And so, what the lesson here is, Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. It is for the love of the sake that everything is dear. Not for itself. This thing doesn't have anything because it looks like this, because they look like this, or because they do. No, only because it helps me coming back to myself. So this is what Yajnavalkyaji said in this passage, is saying in this passage. So what does it mean? Therefore, here it is said in the passage, tasmat, which means therefore, rather than seeking the acceptance from them, I must know myself so that I don't need anything else. Today, through you, I'm loving myself. But what should I do rather? I should know myself. And the self is lovable. Self is lovable by nature. Self is of the nature of happiness, joy, peace, satisfaction, ananda. I need not ask you for that. I need not depend upon anyone for that. I am myself loved. Not that I don't love, not that I don't need you anymore. No. But that helplessness should go. Because I am lovable, I am full, and I know that everything is nothing but me. So nothing can create, ideally speaking, disturbance in me, because it is nothing but me. Self is the same, self is everywhere. And all this shows that I need to know the nature of the self. We should know what the nature is. In that case, then I will become independent. Independent in the sense I won't need it from the world. That is why Yajnavalkyaji says tasmat. Tasmat means therefore. Therefore, Atma va are drashtavyah. Therefore, O Maitreyi, what should you know? Atma should be seen. Atma va are drashtavyah. It should be seen. Seen here means not object of perception, because Atma is not available for being seen, for being the object of perception, precisely because it is free from qualifications, name, form, all this, and it is my very self. What I cannot see myself. I cannot see myself. What I can see is other things. What is object can be seen by the subject. But the very subject, and that too, when it is without form, without qualifications, without shape, all this, it is subtler than the subtlest. So it cannot be seen. So what does it mean? Atma means, drashtavyaha means what? It is worth seeing. Darshanarhaha. Bhashyakara says it is darshanarhaha, which means it is worth seeing. One must know the self. It is the only thing that is real. Rest, everything is mithya. Everything is apparent. What is real is nothing but the self. And I don't know what it is. I love it all right. But I don't know its nature. It's not enough that a thing is what it is, unless we know it. The necklace is right here in my neck, but I don't know it. So I'm looking for it everywhere. So it's necessary to know what it is, where it is. That is why Bhashyakara, Yajnavalkya says, so you have to know the self. Atmavare drashtavi must be known. If it is not known, nothing is known. See, this is like this. If Atma is not known, the self is not known, because it happens to be the reality. The reality of the entire creation, reality of myself, the world and Ishvara. This is the fundamental reality. And if I don't know that, I have not known anything. When you don't know the self, you have not known anything. Inadequacy remains, dissatisfaction remains, helplessness remains, seeking remains, beggarliness remains. And so, self has to be known. It is very well said in Ishavasya also, that one who doesn't know the self, Atma Hano Janaha, there the Upanishad says, they have killed themselves. They have committed suicide. How come? Because not knowing the self means that is what you seek really. But seek it in the world, which is not real, which is ephemeral, which is transitory, which is limited. In that you are seeking that fulfillment. Denying the fulfillment where it is. Denying the very fulfillment, the very source of fulfillment. And so, we have to focus our attention here. Here means in I. Know what it is. The journey is inward. Rather than journey going out towards the world, the reversal has to happen. It should be towards me. And this me, the I, happens to be the reality of everything. It is not confined to this just body. Body is just one, just as this object is, similarly the body is equally inert. Just as I see the object and it is different from me, I am the subject, this is the object. Similarly, the body is equally an object. Idam shariram kaunteya kshetramiti abhidhiyate. This body is equally the object of knowledge, object of perception, which means it is not I. And who is I? One who knows, one who is the seer. So the self, in you also, I cannot see the self. Self is not perceptible that way, but still it is there, constantly shining, constantly revealing itself as I. Only thing is we attach this small body in that. I attach this individual in that. Take that out. Do viveka. Remove that costume and see who is the wearer of the costume. In everyone, that is the same. All this we have to know. And so Yajnavalkya says, since the love for the self is supreme and it is that which actually you love, but you don't know that it is lovable, that it is most lovable, most satisfying. And so you better know it. You better know the nature of the self. Later on, Yajnavalkya will tell to Kargi, another woman, woman of knowledge. When she confronts Yajnavalkya, then he says, O Gargi, one who comes in this world and goes away, etasmat lokat praiti, one who goes away without knowing the self, is a krupanaha, is a miser. Why? Because you are given the intellect to know, and self is right here, and still we did not know. We had other PhDs in other subjects. We gave a lot of time to that, fine, nothing wrong. But never gave attention to the self, which is the reality. And not knowing that I'm suffering, not knowing this, I am looking everywhere for satisfaction. That is the only thing that we do, having come in this life. All the while, looking for what? Satisfaction, love, happiness, warmth, security. Give me this, give me this, give me this. From objects, from people, from relationship, from places, from Ishvara, from everywhere. There is just one constant search, one constant demand. All the while, the source of that is right here. In the one, hidden in the one who is seeking. See the irony. See the paradox. It is all the while hidden. The one who is seeking is right there. Seeker himself is the sought. And still this happens. This is Maya. This is what avidya does. So, come back. This opens our eyes. Oh, I love myself. And what is that self? Let me know that. So, it must be known. Drashtavyaha means Atma must be known. Just as earlier it was said, Atma iti eva upasita. May you know yourself as Atma. Apnoti, vyapnoti sarvam iti Atma. This Atma is Satchidanandaha. I know that I am. I exist and I am means I am consciousness. But one thing I don't know. What I don't know, that I am happiness. See, when I say that I am woman, I know that I am woman. There I is. That awareness of the I is. But what thing did I do? I attached womanness in that. I am but woman. I am but wife. I am but so and so. I am is right over there. It is formless. Walker, talker, in childhood, in adolescence, in youth, in middle age, in old age, everywhere that I continues. Waking, dream, deep sleep, everywhere I is. But then something or the other gets attached in that I. I never comes as it is. Always with some costume, some or the other costume. Never bare as it is. And so I don't know. Upon that I superimpose what? Thinker, talker, mother, walker, good, bad. All these are superimposed. And then I don't like. First I superimpose and then I don't like. I find it incomplete. And then I try to make it complete. By trying to become better and better and better. What is our life? We are constantly trying to become better. Nothing wrong. But I have already concluded that I am not fine as I am. Atma, I don't know. So I don't know that I am fine. So I try to become fine. Try to become perfect. See, that is not wrong. But it need not be done. It is wrong. Why? Because I'm already beautiful. Satyam Jnanam Satyam Shivam Sundaram. It is already Sundar. Don't have to become Sundar. This I don't know. This nobody knows. Yajnavalkya ji is pointing attention to that. May you look at yourself. How? Drashtavi. May you know. But how? I will sit and I'll come to know. I will meditate, and already I have taken myself to be limited. How will that change the perception? So, you have to go somewhere. Go to one who knows the self and learn from them. And in those days, you had to listen to the talks of the teacher. Now also, but now so many other things are. But best is to learn, sit at the feet of the teacher and learn from them. What? Who am I? See, the irony is today, to know who am I need to go to one who knows who the I is. Understand? We need to go to them. And how did they know? They also knew from their teachers and from their teachers. And how did they know from Shastra? Vedanta. Vedanta is the pramana. Vedanto nama Upanishad pramana. See, this is Vedanta reveals the nature of the I. Vedanta is pramana for that. Pramana means authoritative, the source of knowledge. It is revealed by Ishvara. That is Shabda, Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmas Pramana. And so I need to go to the teacher, go to Shastra, and they will unfold the nature of the self. That is why when you go to them, they teach you systematically. So Shravanam, and therefore the next is Atmavare Drashtavyaha. How to see this? Shrotavyaha. How to know the self? The means are given. Shrotavyaha, one means, other one is Mantavyaha, and third one is Nididhyasitavyaha. May you listen about the self from the teacher, from the Shastra. From the teacher, Shastra comes to us through teacher. So, listen from them, then what? Even mananam, deliberation, reflection should be done. And the third one, nididhyasanam. Nididhyasanam means sit with yourself. You have already heard about the nature of the self, but still the old samskaras, old habits of taking yourself to be individual, man, woman, son of so-and-so, daughter of so-and-so, this, that. Those samskaras are there. Deep-rooted habits are there. So, even if you have paroksha jnanam, these habits come back. I'm hearing this now, but moment I go out, again, what will happen? I am a woman, I am this, that. That will come back because that tendencies, that ignorance is deeply rooted. So what I need to do is sit back. Take time out. Give quality time to myself. Give appointment to myself. Sit back and then remove in the background of what the Shastra says, Satchidanandoham, Aham Brahmasmi. Keeping that in the background, I remove each and every notion. Mano, Buddhi, Manaha, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chittani, Naham. I am not the mind, not the body, not the sense organs, not this, not this, not this. Then what? Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham. I am consciousness, which is auspiciousness. That is what I am. So keep on doing this. So see, there are three obstacles to knowing the self. One is avarana, second is samshaya, and third is viparita bhavana. Meaning, avarana means today I don't know the nature of the self. I don't know who I am. one obstacle. Second obstacle is what? There are, even when told, the doubts remain. Immediately things do not become clear. So samshaya is there. Viparita bhavana is also there. So the three means, which means one is shravanam. By shravanam, what happens? Avarana goes. Avarana means there is a curtain today before me in the form of ignorance. I don't know who I am. We don't completely not know the self. We know the self, but we know it wrongly. Problem is this. We know, I say I am, but what? Thinker, talker, officer, doctor, woman, man. That part is wrong. I part is correct. Understood? So I know myself, but I know it wrongly. That worsens the problem. So all this will go through Shravanam. So three problems, and we have to remove. Avaranam has to go by Shravanam. So you go to a teacher, learn the Shastras from them. The subject matter of all the Upanishads is nothing but the self, Atma. And during Shravanam, our notions drop. Oh, I'm lovable, I'm full, I'm seeking the fullness, but I am that. And there is nothing other than me. I thought they are different, that is different, this is different, Ishvara is different, but it's different. In reality, there is only one. I thought duality is real. Reality is only one. One in many costumes. One Ishvara in many roles. One self in multiple roles. Big revelation. Big revelation. We just came to know that this is by Shrotavya. So Shrotavya, does while we are listening, pramana vichara happens. What the Shruti is telling, we think along with them. My personal thinking is suspended. I tune up with the teacher and surrender my intellect, which is full of notions, ignorance, to the teacher's intellect, and think along with that. Surrender is this. Surrender symbolizes this. Because otherwise, how can I be wrong? You mean to say I don't know myself? Who are you to tell me who I am? Why should I believe you? Ego has all these problems. So now, Shraddha, that what the Shastra is saying is true. To understand that, even if I don't quite believe that, I give benefit of doubt. See, when we learn to swim, we are not ready to fall, to plunge in that. We will tell that coach, you first tell me that you will save me. In case anything happens, guarantee me that you will take care of everything. He says, but you go, you fall, you take a plunge, I will handle, but you first guarantee. Unless you go, nothing can be done. You put faith in me and go. Take a plunge. No, but you first remaining outside, nothing will happen. So, even when I'm out, I put faith in that person, Shraddha, and take a plunge. And then he is there to take care. This is just an example. Similarly, Shastra says you are Brahma, Tattvamasi. That which you are seeking is yourself. I don't believe. Difficult to swallow this. How can I be Brahman? I'm a small person living in a small town, in a small country. Nobody looks at me. Nobody listens to me. And you are saying you are Brahman? Everything? Yes. That is a fact. And Shastra has no vested interest in doing all this, no agenda. In fact, out of love, out of compassion, they show you a mirror to see yourself. This Shraddha also comes if we enjoy the grace of Ishvara. Otherwise, our whole life goes away in asking, how can it be? How can it be? Then don't listen. See, we require the grace of Ishvara. Otherwise, our mind is not available. We are not ready to suspend our present thinking. Notions die hard. They don't let us listen to anyone. Who do you think you are? And more intelligent the person is, more proud they are, more difficulty. Simple people have less problems. Less problems. They can put their faith very easily. So, what I'm saying is, Shravanam is necessary. The Tatparya Vichara, the Tatparya Nirnaya. Tatparya means what is the import, purport, the theme of the Shastra, Upanishad. What is the theme? And what is the theme? Just a small sentence. Tattvam asi. You are that. You are not what you take yourself to be, a limited individual. But you are the limitless self, limitless Brahman. You are already that. Even now you are that. Even when you are crying, feeling helpless, you are nothing but that. Who else can tell us other than Shastra? That is why Shravanam, when you listen, this Tatparya Nirnaya, the theme has to become clear. We keep on repeatedly ponder over this theme, Tattvamasi, Tattvamasi. And it is done in different Upanishads. The same thing is told. Nothing different in different ways. So, this is Shravanam, Tatparya Nirnaya. And it is Upanishada Ekagamyaha. It is known through Upanishad only. Vedanto Nama Upanishad. Because Upanishads are not written by anyone. Nobody has sat and written. Sages did not sit and write this from their memory. It is revealed by truth itself. They are revealed. Nishvasaha. It is called Nishvasaha. Nishvasa means it is the out-breath of Ishvara. Just as when we breathe and the breath comes out, similarly, the Upanishads have come out like this, in this manner from Ishvara. Means the truth is there in the creation. Sages could catch it. Sages, rishis, they grasped it. Why? Because they are totally one with that. Totally one with that. So you and I may not be able to grasp the truth, which is the Om is everywhere. Ishvara is everywhere. We may not. We require that Wi-Fi to catch. Sages had that. And that is what Upanishads, nothing but the truth. But how do we come in touch with that? When we listen to the Shastra, Upanishads, talking about the self, and it comes to teacher's mouth. So this is Shravanam. We do it for a long time, continue to do it. Shravanam is the main thing. But even then, doubts remain. It's not that they will just go away because you are listening. How can I be? It is said, but I still don't believe. How can I and Ishvara be one? How can this also be Brahman? This be Brahman? What is order? Where is the truth? I don't accept all this. I cannot understand. It happens. So this problem of doubts can be removed by what? Mananam. Mananam means reflection. But reflection on your own, no. The extension of Shravanam is reflection, Mananam. What you have heard, that now you deliberate upon. You don't invent your own things. You are still not that capable. Not standing on that firm grounds. So whatever you have heard, you have made the notes, texts are there, go back and study. Sit with that. Give time to that. Oh yes, it was said that Ishvara is the creator as well as creation. See, Shruti says this. He is both the material cause as well as the efficient cause of the creation. Both the material as well as the made. Creator as well as creation is Ishvara. How to believe? Difficult to believe. But then Shruti says and gives examples also. Shruti doesn't ask us that you just swallow what? Don't ask. Shruti doesn't say that. You are not supposed to ask, but to accept. No. Shruti gives us time. You can ask and you can reflect. It takes time for the notions to go. Our thinking has been in a wrong way. To undo that and to rectify that takes time. Sure, but you can reflect. But what tarka? Reasoning is also given by Shruti. Shruti, when it teaches, it makes us think also. Reflect. Tarka is there. In BrhadaranyakaUpanishad itself, beautifully, the format is very beautiful. First 2 chapters, I had mentioned this in the first lecture. First 2 chapters, Madhukanda, are devoted to Shravanam, primarily to teaching. Then the rest 2 chapters which will follow, 3rd and 4th chapters, are devoted to Tarka, reasoning. So Shruti gives Tarka. And the rest 2 chapters are given to Nididhyasana. But Shruti itself gives you Tarka. But what kind of Tarka? Anukula Tarka. Conducive Tarka, which will help you understand. Not Dustarka. Bhashyakara says, Dustarkat Suviramyatam. Don't simply ask for the sake of asking. Anukula Tarka. Shruti gives the Tarka, in that line you think. So that you will imbibe, understand what we have learnt in Shravanam. So here it is said that Tarkataha pascha purvam acharyataha agamatascha shrotavyah. From your teacher, from the scriptures you learn. Means scriptures through the teacher. And the teacher who is well versed with the knowledge of the Shastra and abides in that. So Shrotriya and Brahmanishtaha means at least he should be Shrotriya. Shrotriya means one who knows the Shastra and can communicate in the right way. There is a method of communication. This is to be done very systematically. Because the problem is that already notions are. And if you don't communicate properly, you will increase the notions rather than remove them. So, the teacher has to know this method. Okay. So, from them, you listen and then tarkataha means you reflect. Then even nididhyasanam, everywhere, tavya pratyaya is there. First, tavya means injunction, to be done. First was atma vare drashtavi, must be seen. Now that is not injunction. You cannot say you have to know the self. When you're not interested, then what? So that is to arise from within. That I want to know the truth, that is to arise. You cannot say you have to see. Supposing they say I have better things to do. I am not interested. After 70, I will do all this. So, This cannot be, you cannot compel anyone for this. It has to arise. The need has to arise from within. So, drashtavya is not a vidhi. But what does it mean? It means that arhara, darshanarha. Bhashyakara, it is worth seeing. If you understand this, it is worth seeing. If you have a value for that, then may you know. What is the means? Shrota. Shrotavya has vidhi, that you must listen. You must reflect. And what next? Nididhyasitavyaha. What is nidid? Nishchayena dhyatavyaha. May you meditate upon that. This is not meditating upon someone different from you. This is not meditation upon someone. The object of meditation here is not someone different from you. It is the meditation upon the very truth, very Brahman, the Atma, which is my very self. So, here the meditation is what? Called Nididhyasana, and it is the meditation upon the very meditator. Who am I? And who am I? I am not sitting and asking myself, who am I? Who am I? It's not going to say anything. For I must learn from others, from the teacher. Then, having learnt that, who that I is, then I sit back and remove, pick up. Just as from that we pick up, from the dal we pick up all the stones. Similarly, here I sit with myself and remove all the notions. Nacha prana sanyaha, not this, I am not this thing called prana, not saptadhatu, not name ragaha, name dveshaha, all this, not this, not. So the method is not this, na iti. I keep on negating in Nididhyasana, there are different ways of sitting with oneself. Sitting with oneself means meditation and falling back upon the self. We have to clarify our knowledge here. There are certain strong habits, habitual errors, which still doesn't allow the knowledge to settle. Strong ego, strong insistences. Sometimes there is strong sense of injustice. Why this happened with me? So all this has to be resolved. All this, otherwise they become big problems in the mind. So, in the wake of the knowledge, in the background of what I have heard, I sit with myself and do the work. What? I am this. Birth doesn't belong to me. Death doesn't belong to me. I was never born, nor am I going to die. Nor does disease, old age, none of this changes belong to me. All this you do, that end, as a result of that, you abide in the self. So this three, Bhashyakara says, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana sadhanaihi, Nirvartitaihi, Yada ekatvam etani upagatani. When these three merge, these three have to get fused. Which three? Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. When they three get fused, that is Samyak Darshana. Then you come to know the self and you abide in that. And a time comes when you continue with this. A time comes when the knowledge becomes spontaneous. You don't have to sit with and I have to do this. I am Atma. I am Satchidananda. Shivoham. No, it is done now. This is today I don't have to remind myself, who am I? Get up and mug up every day. Paraprajna, Paraprajna, Paraprajna. No. In the middle of the night also, if you call me, I will get up. Yes. What is your name? Paraprajna. It has become one with me. Similarly, what has to become one? I am Atma. There is nothing but me. Why? That becomes so clear that I don't now need to memorize. I don't now need to even study the books. Listen, nothing, then everything is over. Then even meditation or samadhi is not required. Nothing is required. It is not the result. It is not that you become Atma only when you sit and meditate. No. But today, things have to become clear. Their clarity is not there. I forget. So these means are required. Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasana. But a time comes when spontaneous. Lord Krishna, we don't see him meditating. In the middle of the battlefield, in the roar and din of the battlefield also, he is in Atma. Command of himself. Always smiling. Always happy. Why? That knowledge is there. Janaka, he is working. He is functioning as a king. Not meditating. Why? It is already one with him. Digested it. Made it aparoksha. To make the knowledge aparoksha. It is my nature. That till then, it should be done. How long should Shravanam be done? There are questions. How long Mananam? How long Nididhyasanam? Until you don't need to do. Until the knowledge becomes one. Till then. How long, supposing you are digging a bore well. How long should we dig? Unless you get the water. There is no limit. Some may get it in by digging few inches. Others may take more time. And in Sahara, how much time? It will take very long time. Depends where you are. At what stage of evolution you are. But you have to keep on doing this. Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. Keep on doing this. Not only Shravanam, na anyatha Shravana matrena. Shravanam is of course main. It is the Angi, and these two are Angas. Which one? Mananam and Nididhya. This is main. You carry forward both of this. Mananam also, as I said, is extension of Shravanam. And even Nididhyasanam. You remove all the notions in the background of what? That I am the self. If you don't have that, see, that is why. Everybody talks of meditation. I like to meditate. Fine. You like to meditate, very good, but what are you meditating upon? You have no idea of what the self is. Yes, if they are meditating upon Saguna Brahma, we understand something they are doing. Maybe they are looking at the form of Ishvara, meditating upon that, trying to become one with that, taking Ishvara's name, thinking of his qualities, his leela, his form, his name, beautiful, no problem. All this is fine in Saguna Brahma. But here, in case of the knowledge of the self, first you should know what it is. Then you have the matter to work upon. Otherwise, what matter do you have? I already take myself to be a limited person. And now what am I going to meditate upon? I have so many problems in life. My problems are increasing. Challenge, it is a big challenge to live. Or how do I become better? So, I take for granted that I am limited. And then, I start doing things. So, it is confirming ignorance. Confirming my notions. So, that doesn't help, understand. First, learn. And then, every day you can do whatever little you learned today. Sit with that and do. But this is required. Otherwise, the meditation is upon ego, upon individual. Saguna Brahma meditation is fine. That Ishvara, I look upon him as different. So I take an image, take a pratika or swastika or mantra, meditate. This is not meditation upon the self. Meditation upon the self is called Nididhyasana. It is different. Understood? For that, this knowledge is required. That is why first what came? Atma vare drashtavya. First you know what the Atma is. It should be seen. And if you know it now, you have known it. If you don't know it now, if you postpone it for later life or in next life, you never know whether that life is going to come or not. What guarantee do we have of what will happen after we go? Do we know? Has anybody come and reported anything? So, Kenopanishad says, Iha ched avedit. If you know it now, here, then you have known it. Then you have made your life. Atha satyam asti. If you don't know it now, then mahati vinashtihi. Upanishad says, there will be great destruction. Why? Chance has gone. Opportunity has gone. This human birth itself is rare. To be born in good family itself is rare. To have intellect in the right place, rare. All these things are rare. All these one by one things are rare. Manushyatvam, mumukshutvam, mahapurusha samshrayah, durlabham trayamevaitat. Vivek Chudamani, in that Shankaracharya says, these three are the most rare. Which three? Manushyatvam, to be born as human beings. Rare. You may not get that chance. We have paid a price, Price in terms of what? Punya, virtuous deeds. Bhagavan picked up those virtuous deeds and gave us this human form. Okay. Then, mumukshutvan, having been born, I just wander about. From here to there. 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, retirement came. But never got a chance to know who I am. Not easy. Pramada is there. We get attracted everywhere, fascinated by everything. I want to go there, this place. The world is very big. If you go everywhere, then life will go away in only that. Moving from one to other. This mountains and this river and that. World is beautiful. Nothing wrong again. But my priorities. What are my priorities? What have I come here for? Just to wander about? Is there some other purpose? So, this is called mumukshutvam. What do I want? Where is it? These questions, when they arise, I take life seriously. Become aware of the time and energy that I have. Already lot is wasted in worthless things which did not bring me to myself. So, this is very important. To be born as human being and to have everything in the right place. We were born is not enough. Supposing, people are born with, everybody doesn't have this facilities. Supposing somebody is born in slum, in some poor country, and you don't get anything to eat, your upbringing is so wretched that you will become a terrorist only. So this kind of birth we don't want. We want a proper place, proper thing. Good parents, educated, cultivated, good upbringing, satsanga. All this we want. You understand? So, these are rare things in life. Rare. To be born as human being, then to have these questions. Otherwise, these questions don't arise. Mumukshutvam is required. And then, even if that has arisen, you don't find anyone to answer this. So again you go round and round and round. Confused. People are confused. no right direction. In this journey, we require a mentor, Guru. Gukarastu andakaraha, rukarastan nivartakaha, andakara niroditvat, gururityabhidiyate. Darkness is there of ignorance. In Guru, G stands for that. And Ru stands for what? Eliminator of that darkness. Illuminator of that it removes that darkness. That is why one who does this is called Guru. Means in some form, Ishvara has to come in our life to open our eyes, to lead us directly, to lead us to our goal, direct us at every moment. Ishvara does this. Ishvara manages all this. But for all these things to happen, big thing. Very, very big thing. It is not a chance. Understand, not a chance. It is grace. And we have done some punya. Punya is there. The best use of punya is this. Punya may bring me what? Punya may bring me all kind of bhogas also. And I'll be in that, never to come out. But punya, what kind of punya we require? Which opens our eyes to this truth, this knowledge. Two kinds of punyas are there. One will give me what? Everything that I want. Everything that I want. I want a big mansion, car. I want to be CEO of this, that. I want private jet. I want this. These things also punya brings. This also result of punya. But that punya will quite likely keep me there. What kind of punya I require? Which draws my attention to this. So, when all this happens, drashtavyaha, may you know the self. How? Shrotavyaha, by listening. Mantavyaha, reflecting over that. Meditating over that. Nididhyasana. And then, when all this is done, then what? Yajnavalkyaji says, concluding his teaching to Maitreyi. This is all being told to Maitreyi. Because she has asked for what? What has she asked for? Amrutatva sadhanam. Amrutatva sadhanam. She wants the means to know immortality. Means to immortality is her demand. In answer to that, all this is being said. So what does Yajnavalkyaji say? O Maitreyi, concluding his teaching, Atmani khalu are Maitreyi, last sentence on page number 27. Atmani khalu are Maitreyi, drishte, shrute, mate, vijnate. He says, only by knowing the self, by seeing the self. How? How by seeing the self? What are the means? Shravanam. So shrute, by listening about it. Then which was the second one? Mate, by reflecting over it. And which was the third one? Nididhyasana, means vijnate. By these three means, then when you know the self, and now what is your perception? I am so and so, a woman, man, officer, daughter, mother, doctor, engineer. Who am I now? Who am I? Everything. And where is Atma? What is the limit and beginning of Atma? What is the stretch? What is the boundary? Everything is that. Then, by knowing this, idam sarvam, everything, viditam, vijnatam bhavati, everything is known. I need not separately know everything. Coming back to this. Need not separately know each part. What is the length, breadth, everything. If I know that it is made of clay, if I know the substance, I have known it. Once I know that all the ornaments, wherever, in the jewelry shop of India or America or UK or wherever, gold is gold, then I have known them. Yes, details I may not know. Here they were of different types, there of different types, but content I know. And that is what at the end of the day matters. The content, the substance. And that is the real thing. What is the reality here? Clay. If you say pot, then pot, where is pot? Where is pot? Tell me. Is this part called pot? Is this part called pot? Here also is clay. Here also clay. Is the bottom called pot? Here also clay. Is the left side called pot? Here also clay. And if still you insist that it is pot only, then I will say, you keep the pot, by all means, keep the pot with you. I keep the clay. I keep what? The clay. Then what will you have? If I keep the clay, what will you get? Then what is it? Are there two things? Are there two things? No. Only clay. Only clay. Think of that. Pot has no independent existence other than clay. Pot cannot live without clay. Clay can be without pot. So where is pot? Tell me. Here, in name. Vacha rambanam vikaro namadeyam. Where is pot? Only in a name. So, when we know the self, we know everything. Idam sarvam viditam bhavati. How beautiful. By knowing the self, you know everything. By loving the self, you love everyone. You need not make separate efforts. When I love the self, I love you. Because I am there. I am here. I am here. Atma purastat, paschat, dakshinatah, uttaratascha, everywhere. What is there? Nothing but the self. I need not make a separate effort when I say I love myself. I need not even say that. That love is built in. Everybody is loved. That is why one who knows this self, their love is available for everyone. Their compassion is available for everyone. Why? Because that knowledge is there. Nobody is different. No duality. No duality whatsoever. In the next passage which follows, it says, if you look upon something as different, that thing rejects you. Beautiful passages are coming. That if you look upon something as different, that thing rejects. We need not worry about that now. But what I'm saying is, the reality is self. When you know that, you know everything. Because everything is not there. There is just one. Everything is just a word. Everything is just a word, having no substantiality. No substantiality. What is real? Just one. So, Yajnavalkya is very right when he said, when you know the self, you have known everything. This is immortality. Maitreyi discarded the immortal wealth. She did not settle for it, and she got this. So wealth cannot be connected to immortality. Wealth can be connected to comfort, yes. But wealth doesn't mean immortality. She knew it. She had the inkling. She had some idea. And she said, I don't want it. You tell me what you know. You are giving this to me and going away? You are distributing this wealth to me and then want to go away. But before going, tell me this. Is this wealth going to do anything to me? Will it give immortality to me? He said no. Amrutatvasya nashasti vittena, never. Vitta means creation. Vitta means whatever you want to have. Nothing can give immortality. Immortality can come from what? You yourself, by knowing. Know yourself, that is equivalent to immortality. So this is the teaching of Yajnavalkya. So we are concluding here with this teaching. Let us now chant the Shanti Mantra. Om Purnamataః Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutravashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.